because our predecessors had run this economy into a bankruptcy, and all the rating agencies had agreed that we were running a junk economy, and no investor gives money to a junk economy. So we had to navigate this problem and find a way to finance the development of our country without recourse to those who had previously given us $3 billion a year, and we still could not make use of it. Mr. Speaker, in addition to that, we inherited an IMF program that had derailed. We had missed most of the benchmarks that we needed to implement, and this government, even in the face of the lack of funding, had to work very assiduously to ensure that we brought the IMF program back on track. Mr. Speaker, the country was faced with significant fiscal and external vulnerabilities. We had an economy where, for so many years, we were running this economy as if there was free money from people, so we're not cutting our coat according to size. Mr. Speaker, we're very reckless, to say the least, in borrowing and in managing the fiscal space. Mr. Speaker, externally, we experienced serious heightened external vulnerabilities. And what that meant was that at some point in time, this country had only reserves that could last for 0.8 months, less than 2 weeks of reserves to manage this economy. So we just didn't even have the external reserves to import critical essential drugs just to keep us alive. Mr. Speaker, this government had to deal with such a situation. Mr. Speaker, we were also facing serious monetary crisis. Inflation was all over the place. At some point, inflation in Ghana was 54%. Mr. Speaker, to put that in perspective, if anybody was to give you money, he needed to get a return that is slightly above inflation. So if inflation is 54%, it means that for somebody to give you money, you must give him 54% plus a margin to cater for a real return. So you could not borrow for less than 60% under the government that we inherited. Mr. Speaker, we also knew that the exchange rate was all over the place. For almost 8 years, we had borrowed on the market over $60 billion, and yet we could not manage the cedi. $60 billion was thrown at the cedi, but we ended up with the cedi being selling at 17 cedis. That was the situation that we inherited. Mr. Speaker, today, some people are complaining that this economy, we pumped in $1.4 billion and they have never heard it before, but they were comfortable to pump $60 billion into that economy and they never complained. But Mr. Speaker, it is a fact that we never pumped $1.4 billion into the economy. What we put into the economy was forex that was generated by the economy. Mr. Speaker, a very simple question. If you set up a gold board, and that gold board that you set up, our importers into the country go to the banks, and they say that they need let's say $250 million in 1 week to import goods into this country. You take that money and you say, gold board, can you buy gold with this money? Bring us the forex, so we give them the $250 million that they need to import. Is that money not emanating from the economy? Or gold is not for Ghana. So if you decide to use gold board to buy gold and you make it available to meet your auction in the market, that is not injection of funding into the economy. That is pure intermediation of forex. And people who call intervention do not know that there's what we call intermediation in the forex market. And so on the average, the gold board was delivering $1 billion into the economy to fund forex. And people cannot understand why we are able to hold the cedi, because we're getting $1 billion to do that. So my brothers who are all over the place talking about injection, intervention, please revise your note. We're simply